Welcome to another session of discussion about the preparation of SAR for NBA accreditation, and today we'll discuss requirements of continuous improvement under Criterion 7 of self-assessment report for Diploma Engineering program. Criterion 7 of self-assessment report for NBA accreditation is information about continuous improvement. It includes improvement actions taken targeting the POs and PSOs with documentary evidences and gap identification and analysis. Student success index, improvement evidences, improvement in placement and higher studies, activities of academic audit and recommendations, and so on. And there are 6 sub-criteria for a total of 75 marks. We'll discuss one by one. The sub-criteria are actions taken based on results of evaluation of each of PO and PSO, 25 marks. Improvement on success index, 10 marks. Improvement in placement and higher studies, 10 marks. Improvement in academic performance for the final year student, 10 marks. And internal academic audit to review complete academics and to implement corrective actions on continuous basis, 10 marks. And new facility created in the program, 10 marks. Sub-criterion 7.1 is about evaluation. The sub-criteria deals with analysis, identification and action related to PO and PSO attainment levels. So there should be documentary evidence of POs and PSOs attainment levels, and the gaps should be identified, and shortfall has to be improved for continuous improvement perspective, 5 marks. And during that process, the plan of action to bridge the gap and how it is implemented, all these things will be considered. The action plan for bridging the negative gap need to be framed by internal quality assurance cells, IQSC. So it is very important for this committee to be formed for program or overall institute. Now for all this documentary evidence for POs and PSOs and attainment levels should be submitted. The target levels, attainment levels recorded in the criterion 3.3, these are already recorded, only in this case with evidence that those things has to be produced. Under this section, the identification, analysis and of gap, improvement, attainment levels, POs, also identification and analysis of CO, because POs are achieved through COs. So the COs will also has to be analyzed and addressed properly. Plan of action to bridge the gap and its implementation. The plan need to be documented for all POs and PSOs. And more importantly, the action plan is separate for each PO and each PSO. The general action plan for overall action plan for addressing all the POs will not do. For each and every PO and PSO, properly it should be addressed. Then for at individual level, for each PO and PSO, these steps has to be completed. First is state the PO and PSO, and for that PO, state the target level and attainment level. Then based on that, record the observation about the attainment gap, positive or negative. Record the action plan and the information should be provided in the format available in the SIR. Generally, POs are identified by NBA and PSOs are stated by department or state council or university. The analysis must be objective and have sound logic. Reasons like quality of students are poor must be avoided. All reasons listed in the analysis should address the teaching learning process. Under the action plan, record the action plan for improvement. Action plan like encouraging the students to do better must be avoided. The action plan must be specific to the PO. It should be an executable or reasonable plan. The plan should mention the resources required and the estimation of any financial burden or component should be documented, and it should be forwarded to the institute or higher authorities. So the format given by NBA is test, identification, observation and action. So PO, target level, attainment level and observation. So for example, for the first PO, that is PO1, if the observation is such that the target level is 2.7 and the attainment level is 2.5, so there is a gap of 0.2, and that observation has to be written here and the reason for the gap, and based on the identification and observation, the action plan has to be stated in this section. The action may be 1, 2 or 3, anything. Action plan has to be stated. Sub-criterion 7.2 is for improvement in success index of students without backlog, and the success index data is obtained from sub-criterion 4.2.1. All calculations are done in that criterion, and based on those data, the improvement strategy has to be stated by the department, and those documents will be verified by the visiting teams. So if the exercise is properly done under section 4.2.1, then this filling up of the sub-criterion 7.2 is quite easy. From this table we can see that the success index was 0.4 in last year graduate -1, and it was 0.5 in this session last year graduate -1, and it is 0.7 for the last year graduates. So the trend is increasing. Under 7.3, it deals with improvement in placement and higher studies. This is also done under criterion 4.6, and this is regarding placement, higher studies and entrepreneurship. So same data will be reproduced here. Marks are awarded on the basis of improvement in placement number, improvement in placement quality, and improvement in placement in core industry, or also on the basis of pay package, etc. Admission in premier institute or higher studies in number of the students turned entrepreneur. Criterion 7.3, this is an example. Out of these 39 students, 16 were absorbed in the companies as well as in government sector. 2 went for higher studies, and there is no entrepreneur. So according to this formula, 1.25x, x is the number of employed students, and so the number comes out to be 22, and the placement index is this one. So for 3 years, the average placement index is this one. This table shows the calculation for improvement in placement and higher studies. Marks are awarded proportionately taking current assessment year minus as the base year and reference. That means this year, current assessment year minus 3. This is the base year, so this is the last year graduate. If there is a decrease in trend, the department has to report the valid reason for the downtrend. So if the trend of placement and higher studies is decreasing, then department should give some valid reasons so that the visiting team can accept that for awarding the marks. Criterion 7.4, improvement in academic performance in the final year. This is for final year. The same exercise was done in Criterion 4.5, and those data has to be placed here, and accordingly based on the improvement trend, and the marks will be awarded. The same exercise will serve the purpose in two sections. One is in 4.5 and other is in 7.4. Academic performance data taken from 4.5. These are the data we take from the 4.5. In another video, this calculation is explained under Criterion 4. Criterion 7.5 deals with internal academic audit. This is one of the most important parts of continuous improvement. The audit will review the complete academics and implementation of corrective actions on continuous basis. The visiting team checks these things and award marks on the basis of these activities, including action plan suggested by the audit team. Internal Quality Assessment Committee cell develops the documentation of audit process in consultation with other stakeholders. These are the things that visiting team will check: academic assessment criteria, mechanism of academic assessment, frequency of audit, effectiveness on action, etc. Academic audit process documented by IQSE in consultation with stakeholders. Audit process may include objectives of the audit, assessment criteria, frequency of audit, it may be per semester or every 2 semesters, team composition. If the external stakeholders are included, then it is a good positive points. Then other guidelines should be there, written documented guidelines should be there for the audit team or audit process. Reporting formats, there should be a fixed reporting format to be forwarded to the respective department for implementation of the action plans, etc. So based on this, this is a subjective. Visiting team will award the marks based on the availability of the documents and supporting evidence. Continuous, the maintaining audit record, analyze, plan, implement and maintain, frequency, mutual respect and trust. The audit record must be maintained. Department has the responsibility to analyze the report, plan action, implement action and maintain records. Frequency of audit is minimum 1 in every semester, that is good. Audit must be conducted with mutual respect and trust in a cordial atmosphere. Audit is conducted not only for fault finding but for continuous improvement, and this list is a sample only. So the audit team should consider including these things during the process of academic audit. Audit team should address these issues like CO, PO and PSO, their target level, attainment level, gap analysis, action plan and implementation. They will also check the CO, PO and CO, PSO metrics. Audit team also scrutinizes all assessment tools like internal or mid-semester examination, quizzes, group discussion, poster presentation, etc. Rubric for project and mini project. Laboratories, instructional method, etc. will be checked by the audit team. And this is not a complete list of activities, but a sample only. It may vary from institute to institute. And the department will initiate the improvement and corrective actions based on the reports submitted by audit team. And evidences must be recorded for the visit team for necessary inspection. The recording of the evidences confirm that the completion of the quality cycle is ensured. That means closing the loop at program level or so. There may be many other academic activities to be audited. All academic related activities are under the purview of audit team and internal quality assurance cell. New facility created in the program for 10 months. There may be a list of such facilities, and accordingly for every academic sessions to be listed and documented. So assessment is based on improvement in these things. To summarize the Criterion 7 of self-assessment report, if all exercises were done properly in Criterion 4 of SAR, almost all sub-criterion of 7 can be smoothly fulfilled. All efforts should be given to make sure that the documentary evidence are available at the time of physical inspection by NBA visiting team. So, if the things were accomplished under Criterion 4 and this same data placed here under Criterion 7, so if Criterion 4 is taken care of smoothly and properly, then there should not be any issue in Criterion 7. So with that, we finish our discussion today. So thank you. Hope this discussion will help you prepare SAR, but for actual preparation of the SAR, always refer the proper document from official website of NBI. Thank you.